Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to my den for today's shave, which is brought to us by Stirling Triumph. Today's razor is another one. I've got 3 of these. They really don't get used a whole lot. This is made by MF and Company in Sweden. I'm not sure when it was made, but it's a 3/8 inch straight. It's significantly smaller than what normal razors are or usual razors are. But super narrow, very lightweight, which makes it kind of a bear to strop because you've got such a small shank here. And when you get your rolling action back and forth, when you get a little bit arthritis, it's not as fun. I'm using a Stirling Badger brush, and it has an affinity to Stirling soaps, and boys, it did a number. Look at that. You can't even, there we go. Get a little bit to fall off. This is a cool water shave. It's gonna be monstrously hot today. Now, monstrously in Ohio is 90 something, but it's not a dry heat. I guess that's the best way to put it. It's hot, but it's a sticky, miserable heat. So I'm going to be spending most of the day inside. I don't have any real errands to run. I've already been doing a little bit of repairs here in the house. Crazy thing. Had a closet door that decided it didn't like to stay hung. Found out that there's a roller track that goes across. Well, wheels decided to disintegrate themselves. One thing about these little light razors, because they're so lightweight, you have to kind of muscle it through wherever you're going to go, because they have no inertia. So if you try to let just the weight of the razor do the work, you're going to be standing there all kind because it's not going to go anywhere. Now this is, y'all know how much I like Swedish razors, and this was one that's I'd never heard of the brand before, and I don't remember where it came from actually. I'm sure I got it from eBay, but it might have been included with other razors. These aren't ones that I generally will seek out. 100%, not 100% sure if it's a face razor or if it's like an eyebrow razor or something. These resemble, don't have any here. They're gone now, but my mother used to use these tiny little, the blade part was only about this long. She used to trim her eyebrows with. She didn't have a lot of eyebrows, she was Japanese, but she still used those things. I think I did a stunt shave with one of those once upon a time. I'd be very careful about your angle and locking this in, because once again because you're muscling it and it doesn't have a lot of inertia, if you get here and it twists on you, see what you get, you're going to get into trouble real fast. So this is a razor that you have to really pay attention, and when you do, my experience with these has been it'll give you a pretty darn good shave. They're so nimble. You can sports car around your face. But you just gotta beware. I did it just then. It flicked a little bit, and I might have tagged myself a little bit. Because when you're using these super light razors, you're not only lowering it, but you're counteracting gravity, because if you're keeping your wrist locked, you're allowing the weight of your arm to pull the razor down through the whiskers, and you have to control that, like I said, or you'll end up in big trouble. I have the other one that just, as I was going through the drawer, this one's a pretty old one. It's an old Waston home, also 3/8. You can tell them they have a little pipe on the back, but this is one that we'll use some other time. MF and Company. I went, hit the Googles up last night trying to find information on MF and Company. You had to, sounds like you're cursing at MF and Company, but it's not. I don't imagine that they would name something like that to, back in these days. They probably didn't even think about it. But I think I have Heldestrand also in 3/8. These are definitely not a beginner's razor. And people ask about what razor you want to start with, and I'm wanting to tell them 5/8 or 6/8, maybe 3/4. Razors are sized in eighths. Generally, 5/8 I think is the most common, and most of my collection is that size. They're good. People who collect them in earnest like the big ones, big old Weight and Butchers, 1 inch or bigger, because they have that inertia we were talking about. That a little bit easier to control. And when, like Swedish razors or my Swedish steel, once these things have an edge, keep it for a long time. So I struck this one 50 and 50 because I didn't know how sharp it was going to be. And it is effortlessly knocking the whiskers off, and I'm getting actually feedback through my fingers. I can feel when it's hitting patches. The first pass I was getting all kinds of through the razor. Second pass, not so much. It's kind of did a path of destruction arrow, and it definitely was knocking down the whiskerage. So I did it again. Let this be a cautionary tale. If you get super lightweight razors like this, you really gotta watch your grip. It will hurt you. Because I never learned to go left-handed. This pass is blind, so you have to excuse me while I'm being real silent there. Got them. Well, let's cool water shave with a tiny razor. Wonderful soap. I discovered the Triumph soap just before it got discontinued. I got it in a sample size puck, and then I managed to get one more before it disappeared from the website. It's good stuff, as all of Stirling soaps are. Let that tingle die down just a little bit. I kind of hate to say it was a little harsh, but it was a little bit harsh because of that grip. You have to be careful with. Let's hit ourselves up with CBL's Witch Hazels. Let's see, cool baby. A little bit of citrus-like fragrance, and that'll go well, I think, with the Triumph aftershave. That and the Witch Hazel will kind of help the tiny little micro abrasions. It works in kind of concert with the alum to make sure that I don't get have any problems, irritation or bumps, or, well, I won't get any bumps, but pimples and whatnot. Even at 64, they happen occasionally. I like this fragrance. I wish I had gotten more of this aftershave. I'm down to here, and this puck has still got a lot of life left in it, so I have to get with the program and use some more soap. Let's talc ourselves down. I dropped the brush into the talc. Neighbor's dogs are out. Bless their hearts. At least they're coming out now instead of 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm not complaining or nothing. So that's it for today's shave. Wonderful thing. Thank you for coming to visit. It's getting too hot to have windows open when the cat's not there. I'm Major Rich. You can find me at theshavingcutter.com. Or you'll probably find me on my webpage, which is SaveTheCatStudios.com, which ports you over to YouTube. If you do me a favor, hit a like. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.